Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 464. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Corey Feinsod.
Hey, yo.
Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
And Tony Korkanakis.
Whoa.
Mike.
Whoa.
Whoa. Mike, no video today?
The video's not working?
Nope. Just realized you don't have video on. You might want to join us on this video chat for our YouTube viewers. Hey, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 464 of the Moviecast. We have a lot to talk about the gaming side of things. It's kind of a slower time of year for the movies with the September month. But we do. I mean, there was a lot of bit of news. There's a lot of news, actually. There you are, Mike. So, yeah, let's just see what we've got here. Oh, let's go to the box office first. Well, actually, let's kick it off. I'm sorry, I'm just flustered. I just cut my finger, so I'm like trying to get all caught up here. Yeah, it makes the podcast. Let's get into what we've been up to first. I'll kick us off. I've watched more of the What We Do in the Shadows, which is that vampire comedy sketch thing, like The Office, on FX, and oh man, it's quite funny. Like, I am enjoying that quite a bit. Like, there was a whole animal control episode where the one guy was, as you know, flying around as a bat and got caught by animal control. So I watched that one, and there's it's just really hilarious, the jokes. I don't want to I think you should watch it, but like there's a part where he's this one of the vampires, the guy who is I forget the name of the actor, who is from the IT crowd, the boss. His name is Laszlo. They want to go open an alliance with the King Vampire of Manhattan, and that's played by the guy from the League, Ruxin from the League. So I mean, it's got the actors are all in there. It's great, and he's hilarious. And but the hat he wears is like this witch's hat that Ruxin's character really loves because he wants it himself. But it's a cursed hat, so all this crap keeps happening to him on the way to the place, and he's like, "I love this hat" the entire time. But it's just like all like the whole episode is based on that. It's really hilarious. So it's a good show. Other than that,
where can people find it?
It's on Hulu right now. It's FX show. It's coming back in 2020 for new episodes in season 2. And you know that's about it. I feel like I'm forgetting something I did watch, and I don't know.
You always think of it later.
Yeah,
on.
I know.
When it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mike, what have you been watching? Anything?
Nope.
And that's the thing for me is I've been playing a lot of games, so we'll get to that in the Gamescast. Sorry, movie listeners. It's been a lot of gaming stuff. I mean, it's like a crazy amount of games coming out now. So, Tony, anything?
No, I went away for the weekend to a convention up here in the Poconos, actually. ClassicCon. I forget if I mentioned it last year. But it's at the Kalahari Resorts, which is an indoor water park.
Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning this last year.
I gotta say, this convention is fucking awesome, dudes. Like, legitimately, you guys should try to come next year. Like, it's it reminds me of old school Katsucon, and that it's just like a party convention. So it's like, nice. Yeah, they have some like guests and whatnot, but like, I don't know.
Just
it's
a bunch of like-minded people getting together to have
hang
a
out.
Fun weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like the convention itself, like the activities there, like nothing to write home about. Just, you know, small dealer room, small artist alley. The arcade is actually pretty cool. They have a lot of actual like arcade cabinets, like dancing games, this, that, and the other thing. Some stations for console games, whatnot. But the resort itself is so fucking sweet. I mean, there's a bar like down every hallway and stuff like that.
Huh.
And you can just buy it, obviously, as long as you're 21. And you can just go around drinking it. Nobody stops you. So you could just walk around this convention with, you know, a resort drink in your hands and just get drunk if, you know, you're so inclined. But the water park, I did it this year because last year it was kind of a last-minute thing. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend money on this. But the water park is pretty sweet. And, again, it's just a lot of convention people going. And, like, there's these random photo shoots going on all the time. You're just like, okay, like, that's cool and stuff like that. But it was just a really good time. Some, you know, after-hour shenanigans and whatnot. But it just gave me that old-school Katsucon feeling. Because I think the last time I went to regular Katsucon, actual, genuine Katsucon, it's so haughty-taughty right now. It's, like, really bougie with a lot of the more famous cosplayers. Yeah. The like the gazebo area, you have to schedule that. Like, if you want to even step near the gazebo, you have to schedule like a slotted time allocation so you can get pictures
It's still at
Jeez.
that
of your
like
costume.
it's still at that like Disney resort thing hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Gaylord.
Okay.
The Gaylord.
Yeah.
So it's so bougie now. I mean, I still like it, but it turned from the party convention to like this is the serious,
Well, like
A
kind of took
plus
over
plus.
like the Otakon, like right. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, Otakon is going strong too. I haven't been to the one in DC yet, but yeah. Anyway, CloseCon East is pretty good. And the thing is, you don't even have to support the convention if you don't want to, because there's some optics about some of the con heads there being abusers, I guess. They fired one person and somebody else resigned, so there's still stuff coming out of that. But you could just get like a room and the water park pass and still enjoy like 90% of the activities and stuff like that. So that's what I did all weekend. It was pretty sweet.
that's cool.
All right, Corey.
The only thing really, I just watched the New York XL take a shit on themselves like they do in the playoffs.
Oh, so they're out.
Yeah, they're out. So the finals, Overwatch League finals are set. It's going to be San Francisco Shock against Vancouver Titans. The Shock look real good. Titans kind of dominate. I mean, the thing I like this year is that they are the two best teams in the league. Even though I wanted New York to be like the best team in the league, but they were just not as good as they were last year as far as like being dominant. This year, there's definitely people learned a little bit how kind of figured them out. So with these two teams, I think we'll get a good match at least. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way.
I think it's going to be a blowout, dude.
No, I don't think so. I think that we're going to see it's going to.
I mean, I hope we get a good game. But
It may not be like a 7-game, overtime 8-map series or anything like that, but I do think. I do think that the Shock will win one series, and because they do have to win two because they're in the loser bracket. I think they'll win the first one. I don't think the Titans take it out, but I think the Titans beat them.
oh shit! How long? Oh man, they got to play potentially 2 sets on one day. Ugh. Is it first to 4 or first to 5?
I think it's 4. It's a 7-game. I think it's 7 games. So
Okay, so first to 4.
max. But you
Damn,
can't go into
8.
overtime because you can't tie maps. So
Right. Oh, you can tie maps in this one?
some maps you can tie, yeah. So that's why there was an 8-map game in one of these playoff matches. So
Interesting.
we'll see. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically you could potentially have two full matches.
Yeah, I don't know. Just based on how Excel and Titans did the first time around, it was a 3-3. They went in the last actual match, which indicates to me that I think Shock and Titans and Excel are closer than one would have surmised from the last matchup. But Shock just obliterated everybody on the way here. Like,
Except for when they lost the first match.
well, yeah, but that's the thing
Yeah,
is like
it's so
it's like,
weird. Yeah.
can you just say like that's the Achilles heel? Like,
Yeah.
just that one day, that one.
No, I'm
Atlanta
curious
range
to
is
see
just-
like if they had this format last year, if XL would have made it like
yeah.
because maybe they had the shock of being like on the big stage or something. I don't know. It was just it was crazy, but yeah, the San Francisco Shock. Speaking of Shock, they do look very dominant, and I think we'll get a good match. We'll definitely get a good match. I think
2 weeks.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Box office. It Chapter 2 is still number 1 at 40.8 million. Beat out Hustlers that opened at 33.3. That's supposed to be a
Hustlers.
pretty good movie. It's based on a true story. But
that
Hustlers.
what is that one about? Is that the female?
Yeah, it's the female
group
like
boxers?
yeah, I got like like they kind of con people out of stuff the whole time with Jennifer Lopez. You don't remember this
Okay.
one? Yeah, okay.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
This is
The
the stripper one, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
the stripper one, yeah.
Oh, that's
Apparently
what
that-
it is.
Apparently, it's a really good movie. It's getting really good reviews, I think, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
it is.
Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah, so
So
it's getting pretty good. Angels Fallen, Good Boys, and The Lion King are your top 5. Opening this week. What's this week? This is the 20th. That Ad Astra, which I had no idea what the hell that was at first until I saw, actually watched it, the trailer. I'm like, oh, okay. It's a sci-fi kind of thing. And Rambo, Last Blood. Stallone is back in the theaters for one last Rambo. Do we want this movie? Do we want this movie?
no, who wanted this movie? Who
I mean-
asked for this movie?
Yeah, listen. listen, and I'm gonna harken back again. This is olden day. This is like the olden times episode, Tony. I'm gonna harken back to going to King of Prussia, I believe. It was King of Prussia at this point in time, and watching
Probably.
Rambo. What was the last movie called? I can't remember.
You went to King of Prussia to watch the previous Rambo movie?
Yes, because it was Nick, Casey. There's a whole bunch of people that went, and I just remember like laughing like insanely out loud in the theater during the mortar scene, like when the explosions are going off, and he's like just surviving through the explosions, and people are like taking it so seriously, like looking at us like we're a bunch of idiots, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, but this is just so over the top hilarious. So I mean, I'm kind of expecting that more with this movie. But I just remember how much fun I enjoyed watching that in the theaters because, I don't know, it was an experience. So
yeah, but I mean, we enjoyed House of the Dead too in the movie theater experience. I don't know if you were there at that time, but that was
no. Yes, I was. Was there? No, it was not there. But I don't remember that one.
House of the Dead. Yeah. What's her name? Lois Lane from Smallville.
Yep. All right, that's it for the box office. Breaking news. I'm going to start it off with this. Breaking news. And I think we've had an episode about this, by the way. Sony Pictures CEO is now on record saying that they are in the process of remaking The Princess Bride.
I think we did mention that somewhere.
Like, what should never be remade kind of thing. If we haven't, we should do a list like that. Movies that should never be remade. We could probably get a consensus top 5 of that pretty easily. But, yeah, so the quote is, very famous people whose names I won't use want to redo Norman Lear's The Princess Bride. So they're in the production. I don't know. It's trending on Twitter. People are upset, obviously, as a movie that should just never be remade.
So,
what do you think?
Well, the thing for me is, like, I have The Princess Bride, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not going to necessarily enjoy it, but maybe somebody else will. So that's fine with me. I don't know. I think this whole hubbub about people being upset about something is like really kind of silly. Yeah.
I mean,
at the same time, like, I'm upset that the Joker exists. So I don't know. I'm very wishy-washy.
Yes, it might be like based on. Well, I mean, you're a big fan of The Princess Bride. That's why I figured it would be interesting to hear from you. And I mean, I'm a big fan. It's just like, I'm not opposed to them remaking a movie. I don't want to jump on that whole like don't do it. But
I guess it's more like it's unfortunate because we got to experience it when it was, coming out and all that stuff, and it was part of our childhood, and now we can also look back on it fondly. Where this thing is not gonna capture that same magic for us, at least. It's not gonna have that same effect for us. But again, like maybe it does for somebody else.
See,
maybe this is the Princess Bride.
This is one of those movies that like I think it's just
like
kind of
Battlestar Galactica, the show.
Yeah.
Like I love the remake that they did. Like that me is my Battlestar Galactica. I don't care about the original.
I don't care about it either, except for the finale was garbage. But the second half of the finale. But
most of
I like the first half. Yeah, most of the ending. It's a classic. It's one of those movies that holds up still. I think. I feel like there's nothing wrong. I mean, the special effects are lame, but they were supposed to be. It was like
the whole thing of that movie. The whole point of that movie is kind of being corny.
Yes.
And like the quotes, I mean, the quotes people say all the time still.
I think that part of the reason why it would be so bad is that movie's so tied to the time that it came out. Like, you have all these like 80s superstars in there. There's like Andre the Giant, Billy Crystal doing a cameo in there.
Yeah.
It just has a very like late 80s vibe to it. And I don't know. So
there's a classic aspect
what do we
of
get
it.
Now?
I mean, they'll try to recapture that, but it's just like I don't know.
Do we get Fred Savage reading the book?
Do they try to recapture it, or do they just do like, oh, let's do a late teens? Is that what this decade is vibe here? Like, do they want to get like?
Dude, we're gonna be in the Roaring 20s soon.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like again, I love the new It movie. I think that was really well done, and they did a great job of remaking that.
Yeah.
So it can be done. It's just like I think the people that hold this to their like. Again, for me, I don't mind it. I don't think that necessarily. I'm gonna be upset that they're making a new version of this.
All right. So let's move on then. Looking at you just reminded me to look up what showtimes were. More
But
news.
wasn't there something about Battlestar getting remade again?
Yes, so I'm just going to tie it into that part. So there is a whole bunch of stuff announced today from Peacock, which is NBC's streaming
peacocking.
service. Yeah, they're going to call it Peacock, and they're going to have exclusive shows, which are not a reboot. Well, I guess a reboot of Saved by the Bell.
With the original cast members?
With AC
Zach Morris is the mayor.
Zach Morris is the mayor of the town.
Back.
Yeah. And Battlestar Galactica reboot, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
What else was on that? As you just mentioned, shoot, what were we just talking about? I just lost my train of thought.
Black Battlestars, I was talking about.
Yeah,
Battlestar.
Battlestar.
Apparently Battlestar is not a remake.
What?
Apparently it's not a remake.
Really?
Or a reboot.
So they're going to use the same cast?
I don't know.
Maybe they'll fix the ending.
See, I mean, it sounds like what they're doing with Saved by the Bell is a continuation of stories, so it could be that they do something like that.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. And Punky Brewster. Punky Brewster. Getting reboots. So, yeah, but yeah, they'd bring most of the cast back, Corey. Like, you bring, what's his name? Mario Lopez, Jesse. Jesse's back.
Yep.
So I didn't see what's his name.
Elizabeth something. Elizabeth.
Diamond. What's his
whatever.
Diamond?
Dustin Diamond.
Screech.
Yeah.
Screech. I didn't see Screech on that.
I don't know about him because he's gone off the rails since then.
Yeah. He's doing porn.
It's been a little crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, but Zach's become the governor of California in this, and he has to
governor.
He has to close down a lot of schools due to budgets, and he sends those kids to like the upper class schools of like Bayside, and that kind of starts the whole thing. So
Shenanigans.
yeah. All right, what else we have? Well, Warner Brothers. Other news: Warner Brothers is planning a Funko-based film. Looks like we're going to get a Funko series, much like the Lego series. This has actually been in production for a while. I think, like these ideas. So this is going to be.
No, I mean, it seems like Funko has been in like a lot of trying to get their brand out as many avenues as possible.
Yeah.
Start with the vinyl toys and then move on to T-shirts. Obviously, that's the easy one. But then let's also do like board games and video
games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gears Pop game is the thing. So yeah. So I'm not surprised that there's going to be a full feature-length movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not
it's a
surprised.
matter of time.
I forgot to mention like other things like The Office is going to be on the Peacock streaming, all of it, all of Parks and Rec, all that stuff.
Everything that NBC Universal
has. Yeah. So 30 Rock, all that stuff. But all right, what else we have? We've got Twitter. Not Twitter. Sorry, Netflix. Netflix is acquiring for streaming rights all 180 episodes of Seinfeld now from the Hulu deal that's expiring, which is interesting because I've been streaming, like when I go to sleep, I just throw that on, Seinfeld. It's like perfect to put on, like the TV going. So I'm like, well, I don't have Netflix, so it's not a bad move for them because it like gets more people. It's like they're friends, they're losing friends and now they're getting Seinfeld. So until we get more streaming services, which by the way, let's get into that, like a mini topic here. Streaming services, how much is too much? Are we at that capacity right now?
No.
I'd say 3. If you could do 3 at once, I think that's doable.
Is it overwhelming?
This is what we've wanted. This is what we've talked about for ages.
I know.
Like this is what we want, and like I just had this conversation with somebody how like they're upset that there's too many streaming services. I wish there was like a one and all like solution for this. I was like, that's cable, buddy. That's what cable was.
It's like we've had that for.
I mean, it's also what Netflix was when it was the only one, but that's not the case anymore.
Well, I mean,
they were the first ones.
They were the first.
Yeah, I know, and that was good.
Hulu was on scene pretty quick.
It was good.
No, Hulu showed up pretty quick.
If Hulu
I think this is exactly what I want.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I want. I mean, I definitely am excited to see this because now this is kind of where I was like, saying like I don't want to spend $190 on cable for my household because like you need a box for every TV or whatever, so you got to pay rental fees for those boxes, and then you have to pay for the service. And they make it cheap, air quotes, because you're bundling everything together.
It's $200 a month for cable and internet in my house. It's $200 a month. Yeah. So, like, what is the internet, though?
$70 on internet.
Okay.
And then
piecemeal this stuff?
Yeah, piecemeal what you want. Like, now you can drop in and out of these different services.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a pain hassle to have to keep subscriing and canceling to things.
Yeah, the average person is not going to do that.
I feel like, honestly...
Well, that's what they're banking on.
I feel like this is... looking... Maybe I'm filling this in for the wrong... average person. I feel like this is too much. I feel like there's too many streaming services.
Once you get beyond, like, 3-ish, I think it's too much for the average person.
So, you got... I mean, how many are there out there? I mean, it's insane how many. You've got, Disney Plus coming soon, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu. You're going to have the Peacock. You're going to have CBS All Access.
Broadcasting channel has their own, essentially.
Yeah.
It's pretty much becoming like channels.
And they're charging $7 a month.
Yeah.
Oh, no, $7 a month?
But that adds up.
But that adds up. Be similar.
It adds up if you want it to add up.
Yeah, how many subscription services could you do if you cut out your cable?
Well, I would do. What would I ideally? What I'd like?
5 or 6.
I would like to know what.
I'm saying how many could you subscribe to? The price of your cable per month.
Depends on which ones, but I would.
Let's take this.
I'm asking Jim specifically.
Okay, I'm going to take the internet core. You said was $70, right? So let's just take $70 off. We got $130 left in the cable bill, divided by. Right. Yeah, I mean, so...
Do average 10. Let's say 13 different streaming services.
Yeah, let's say 13 different streaming services. That's true. I guess to match cable. You're right. Okay, so that's a lot. So, I'm just saying, like, right now...
You're probably not even going to come close to that, either.
Are they all just $10 a month?
Well,
it's an average. It's an average.
Like, and that's pretty high.
Apple's $5.
And that's high. Because a lot of them are $7, Mike. And a lot of them are... Like, I'm paying $4 a month for DC. And, so it's like... Because they haven't fixed their billing, so I'm just leaving it. They're getting me for $3.99 a month. So I mean, like if you do like Netflix, Hulu, what's that? $10. Disney what was Disney going to be?
$12.
I don't know. I signed up for 3 years for.
Yeah, so did I.
$140.
So with DC, Netflix, Hulu, and Disney, you're at $42. So with your cable bill on top, I mean your phone internet bill, you're paying $112 a month plus taxes.
All right. So it's a cost reduction, really.
It is a nice cost reduction. That is an $80 savings, just a
ballpark.
Yeah.
Now let's say the argument is, I want to get my NBC and my news and live channels. Well, there are options out there for that. You can get antennas, and you can also subscribe to, I don't know if you guys know, but like lowcast.org. You can do that. And you don't have to pay them $5 a month, but it's $5. You donate $5 a month, and they don't hound you with ads essentially. And you get every local broadcasting channel.
Yeah,
it includes Telemundo as well.
For me right now, cable has the advantage with live sports because there's always a delay when you're streaming. And it seems like, with baseball, with football, if you're watching, keeping scores, like your fantasy stats, and you're watching stuff, you'll get the updates on your phone, and then you'll see it on the TV 10 seconds later. So there's a delay when you're streaming.
That's honestly what I'm waiting for. I don't know if it's ever going to happen where there's going to be a streaming service, like a sports one.
Well,
I mean, I know there's, I know, but they don't.
No, it's not great. No, MLB TV does, but it's blacked out.
What is that like?
It's blacked out. So
isn't it it's ridiculously expensive too, isn't it?
I mean, they all football has a hockey. They all have their own packages.
Oh, those packages are jokes.
I think baseball is $100 a year, or 120. And then for out of market games, you have to live outside of the East Coast to watch the Mets. I got to live in the middle of the country or the West Coast if I'm you know what I mean? It's stupid because they have the blackout.
But they'll. Mm-hmm. But that's
So if I
they
could
don't
just
have them on Not My 9 or something.
No, they're on SNY, and SNY doesn't have its own app yet.
And this is the thing when if I'm honest about the time I spend watching TV, 60% of it is sports, at least. So that's why I'm that's why I'm hesitant about it.
Well, that's why I think it's a great deal for people like you, Mike, because then you can parse and choose when you want to watch stuff and not pay for stuff you're not actually watching.
Not with sports though. They get you with sports still.
It's expensive sports, and there's I mean, so that needs to break out those like channels like Yes Network needs to have its own thing, but I feel like they'll charge $20 a month for that.
They might.
And with that,
Probably.
and so then you're looking at.
I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're still looking at 112 plus.
I mean, if you're only watching it during baseball season, that's not too bad.
I mean, I would watch Yes during basketball season too for the Nets.
Well, there you go. So you're at $130 still, even with that for $20. I mean, if they charge $20 for that channel.
Honestly, if something like that, and Yes would be the one to do it because they're like the biggest local sports channel. If they created their own streaming service, then I'd be like, all right, I could watch that and have like Netflix, Hulu, and I'd be pretty much good.
It's coming. I mean, that's happening. There's no question.
They'll be waiting for it, but right now, sports is where they get you still.
Yes. I don't know. So I guess looking, you're right, guys. It's not oversaturation. If you can subscribe for what you want, it's exactly what we want. I just feel like
choices.
I wish there was a little less. Like you can get this content if you subscribe to something else. It feels like there'd be just more value to other content. But
I kind of wish the content didn't jump around so much, like we just talked about, like Seinfeld. I wish their contracts were a little more long term, maybe, because it's hard to keep track. Things are just hopping back and forth, and
a lot of these contracts were very long. The reason they're jumping now is because they expired, and all these companies wanted more money. I mean, Netflix and Disney had like what, a 5-6 year deal? Yeah. What was it? Something absurd like that. Friends has been on the subscription service for, I don't know. Probably
Office has been there forever.
Yeah, Office has been there forever, and it's finally leaving. Now all these people are like, "Oh, I didn't get to watch." It's like, really? You didn't get to watch? Okay, all right, whatever you say. But the thing is, like, you're looking at the cost aspect is one thing, and the choice aspect is another. But honestly, I feel like we're getting a greater selection of shows and movies now because of this. Because all these corporations are throwing money to get original, exclusive content. Yeah. Like we've seen, over the years, all the great series and not so great, but I mean, whatever. It's same with cable television. Not every series is great. I'm excited to see what Amazon does with the Lord of the Rings. I'm excited for all the stuff that Marvel and Disney are doing. Hulu's
we're gonna get a Wheel of Time series. We're getting a King Killer Chronicles.
We're
series.
not getting the King Killer Chronicles series, and that's why this ties in with this news because Showtime has.
No, we're gonna get it somewhere.
Yeah, Showtime has passed on it for now, though. So. Which is not good news for it, but
honestly, I'm not a fan of King Killer Chronicles, so I don't care. But
yeah,
seems like they got the right people to make it.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. But all right, let's move on. Other news: Iron Man. Oh, Tony Stark is going to appear in the Black Widow movie. That's been confirmed.
I kind of assumed this would happen. Like this movie takes place before Endgame, so why wouldn't you have your biggest star in this movie?
Well, because he's retired from the MCU.
Well, is he?
No, he's not. That's what I'm trying to say. He's still going to be.
I think he is. This could be old footage. This could be a glorified cameo. I just don't expect.
Still getting paid for it. It doesn't matter if he's there or not. Like
I mean, I guess from his perspective, it doesn't matter. But I don't know.
I mean, like I don't know. It's I think it seems like kind of obvious that he would have made a quick cameo somewhere.
And this one is supposed to take place after Civil War, so how are they interacting without it being kind of weird? I mean, I guess that makes it more interesting, but
yeah, no, I'm very curious to see how they do this. Obviously, we know what happens in Endgame. Both the title character and this character we're talking about don't make it through that movie.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know. I just I've heard whispers of him coming back to reprise like a Jarvis-style role going forward with these movies, and I feel like I feel like this kind of cues that.
Nobody in comic books ever really dies.
That's true.
But
too.
in movies, actors over 50 die all the time.
Actually, I don't think they ever brought back Uncle Ben. Did they?
No,
I'm sure
he's been back.
I think Uncle Ben is like.
I'm sure he's
really
back. What if he's back?
They bring back Uncle Ben and everything, though. Like he's always like, a new iteration of Spider-Man. Uncle Ben's there. So.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, you're right on that. I'm just saying. I actually think that's one character in the 616 comic book continuity actually has not been resurrected. I could be wrong, but
is there a what if, Tim?
I'm sure there's a what if.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure.
Did they bring Gwen Stacy back in the 616?
There's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, we're talking about the
It's
that's multiverse.
Yeah,
stuff.
but she ends
Yeah,
up like, here
she
more
got-
often than not anyway. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. What else we have? Oh, Terminator. Lastly, in the news, Terminator Dark Fate director says the franchise is tainted. I just thought this was funny. Yeah, I thought it was funny to
I
have.
thought you said Terminator first. That's why.
Terminator. No, Tim
Oh,
Miller
that too.
says the franchise became tainted and lost its way after Terminator 2, which is funny because that's where this movie's picking up from. But it's weird to hear a director like just kind of tell you just these movies were terrible, don't watch them.
Well, that's what this movie's supposed to be. It's like a direct sequel to 2, so you're like ignoring everything that happened in the movies after it.
Speaking of ignoring things, one thing I did watch is some clips of Dark Phoenix on YouTube, and man, that looks pretty bad.
I told you guys, it's like the worst movie I've seen.
I will say there was one scene that I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and that was a Magneto fight scene when he like incorporates like actual like fighting with his
Magneto's always good, but he can't help this movie.
It's beyond help.
But no, as
X-Men
far
fans'
as
worst nightmare. Go on.
yeah, no, it's amazing how bad. Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that. It's just because now they're making me upset here.
Okay.
But no, Terminator. I think I actually kind of liked the third movie, the way it ended, at least.
The third one wasn't like completely terrible. It had some redeeming stuff in it.
And I thought I liked the fact that
Is that the one where
they say like it was never about stopping Judgment Day. It was about
saving.
surviving.
Yeah, it was about that.
surviving.
That's where it ended in them in the mountain bunker, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like I kind of I mean that was interesting because it was like
Could have
they
gone
lied
somewhere
to the
like
characters. Yeah.
yeah. No, it'd be cool to see like where that went from there to like actually go into the future of that, and because I thought that was a unique idea, and like so the 3 was kind of like the future that that 2 avoided. Like essentially, you had to survive. John had to survive so that way he could send the guy back.
So wait, hold on. So Terminator 3 was a direct sequel to Terminator 2. What came after 3? Was it Salvation?
That was the crappy Christian Bale one, I thought. Wasn't it?
Salvation.
Yeah.
What was that? Is that took place in the future then?
Alternate
That was
timeline, I think.
that was supposed to be like him when he was gonna start sending the Terminator back. That was John Connor in the.
I didn't watch that one. And what was the one with what's her name?
The last
Daenerys.
one.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the Genesis, the reboot. It's supposed to be like, now she's the Reese character. What's the Reese? I forget what his name was.
Yeah. I can't remember his first name, but
And it was supposed to be a sequel, like these are all supposed to be directly related to each other.
No, I mean, kind of. Like the Genesis was supposed to be a reboot of the franchise.
Oh, complete from Terminator 1 reboot, basically.
Yes, because she was acting as, Sarah Connor was kind of acting as the character that Reese was, forgot fucking guy's name.
Well, how does that work then? Because I mean, Reese, has sex with John Connor's mom and knocks her up, and then goes and dies. You really can't do that if you, flip that around.
Right. Well, Reese is. It's weird. I don't know. It's it's weird. It's a reboot. Whatever. They're trying to make the strong female character.
It didn't
work. Like I said, it didn't.
There's no
work.
chemistry between the characters either, which is really.
Oh God! And then
terrible.
how many? Weren't there like 2 TV series too?
Oh, the TV series I liked. I will defend the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Sarah Connor Chronicles was fantastic.
Yeah, I would.
But there was another one too, right?
Was there?
Or no,
I don't know about that.
I only know of that one.
But that was fantastic.
That was a great show.
But that was the whole thing, right?
Yeah. That was a hell of a cliffhanger.
And
I've only watched the second movie. That was it. Terminator 2.
So, well, you get to watch the
still
third
the
one.
best.
You get to watch the third one, Mike, and not miss anything. So that was the point of this.
Sequel to that.
Yeah.
I mean, even the first one, it was okay,
Yeah,
But
the second one was
wasn't-
the best.
It wasn't like it was more of a horror movie than like an action film.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the news. All right. That's going to wrap up this episode of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us, podcast@allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter at @allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. See you guys
just real quick to tie it into the Terminator thing. Sorry, you can play as those characters in Gears 5, by the way. Sarah, the actual like
Yes.
Linda Hamilton, Sarah
Linda
Connor.
Hamilton, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, that's going to do it. Thanks. See you guys next
All
week.
right.